3 demons holding their heads crying. I regret not standing up earlier. Take the chance to escape. 2 now still suffer the pain of blood torture. 3 of them are crying now without tears. Regret is too late. And the tears of horror watched the 3 men roll and pray on the ground, smiling for an hour. These 4 guys don't eat. The mind is not normal. I want to teach them. Let them know what a reward is. Meritorious to be rewarded, guilty to be punished. That way they know what fear is. The most sure glance is a silent exclamation. He knows how to treat them. For a long time, the sermon suddenly spoke. Track the butler. Looks like these 4 guys lured us into the swamp. Getting out is not easy. Looking up at the sky a little helpless. The worst of all is right. But it's not that big. At least we've learned the magic of the ancient 3. Coming from his nostrils. The unknown is the scariest thing in the world. Now, if only we'd known about his magic. There will surely be a way to solve it. No one can win like that. Even the monsters in it. My heart trembled with tears. More and more in my heart. The pulse of why. This is the pulse. A person who makes great karma should have. Even in the face of the strongest man in the universe. Still as calm as not. A haughty figure like this who works as a butler. It's a shame. Suddenly there were clouds in the sky. At this time, there are thunder and black clouds coming back. The sky is getting dark. Most likely, he looked up at the sky and sighed. It's going to rain, and I'm going to give him the medicine. Then think about the following. In short, we must capture him. If you are a butler, you can do it. I still have a little confidence in him. Laughing to flatter. Most likely refused to give the idea of shaking his head. We haven't even started yet. At the top of the mountain, 3 pine trees are resting. There's a loud roar again. God damn it. Lightning, what noise can die? An angry roar came out. Powerful sound waves from the cliffs. Soaring straight into the sky. In the blink of an eye, the lightning in the sky disappeared. The shadow of the sky once again restores its brightness. The Lord saw this scene. On the forehead in a cold sweat. Afraid to speak up. Of course, the 3 pine neck is really beneficial. Roar 1 casually. It's stronger than martial arts. Bayou Long Pink. This force is, of course, unfathomable. Probably the most thoughtful. There was no further whispering. That boy. Ever since we met. He always keeps his face straight. Never even got angry. Well, maybe we don't deserve his anger. Shocking tears hurt her mouth and laughed. Most probably still a suspicious eyebrow or ask. But why is he so angry? With a thundercloud? Shocking tears watched. Most probably shake your head. Maybe he doesn't like the moon. I don't like it or I'm afraid. His eyes were a little tight looking over there. The most likely is a whisper. The weather seems to be predictable. My eyes lit up the entire Bible. The butler, you mean him? Slowly nod your head. Seems to have found the surest way to laugh. Maybe his weakness is me. The next morning it was just dawn. Most likely, stand up from the rock. He looked at the 3 murderous demons. A bird on the ground. For a while. Change the handle in the hand. The pain of the demons stopped immediately. Finally, he turned to them and said, "Get ready. We come to the mountain." Demon killer escaped from pain. To hear this, gasping for breath. We are still in the hands of the boy. What the hell are you doing in a hurry? Probably the coldest glance at him. The finger moved slightly. He warned of Lao Tzu's decision. You can do as you please. If not. Okay. What does the butler say we're going to do? I absolutely dare not argue anymore. He hasn't even made it yet. The demon was afraid of him. Hurry up and wait for the last word. That's what she's trying to do. Probably at this hour. Suddenly back to the same confidence. Smiling evil is not good. I will tell the boy that. We've gone far to find medicine for him. It will take about 3 days for him to agree. But wait for his power. Understand and chase. Then our trap has been well laid out for a long time. The 4 demons together startled to speak. That's right, most likely with a small smile. In his eyes flashed a cold. The trap to catch the first space. Undefeated me copper of 3 pine. Except to 175 traps battle drag. Very quickly the 6 most likely people stopped. In front of them. It's a 100-foot mountain range right now. There's a spiral standing there. But the top of the mountain is covered in clouds. Sometimes there's thunder coming down. He looked up at the mountain tower in front of him. Open your mouth and ask if this is a mountain. Ghost carrying for aggressive demons nods. On the face there was no less bitterness. On his knees, his face full of sadness. We're locked in here, 60 to 75. Thousands of lightning flashes smoke every day. If you are not careful, you will be burned with great pain. If it's not some idiot who destroys this ban. Help us get out. Maybe now we've lost the courage to move on. So we've been living really miserable these past few years. Hoo. This story should have been. It's a very empathetic thing. But it came out of this guy's mouth. It doesn't feel bad at all. I don't have a little sympathy for him. What are they still crying about? Carefully observe the surrounding prohibition. The hole in the air is too big. But it's enough for the devil to get out. He raised his eyebrows muttering, the enemy is not only not an idiot. It's about deliberately destroying this ban. Listen to this incredible feast, exclaimed something. Someone deliberately let them go. The softest nod was the most profound to laugh. Although this ban, created and based on the natural battle of Sun Vang, but the layout is so meticulous. There's no gap. Control on the cliff where the prisoners. You are one of them. Unless you are a connoisseur. If you're not sure, it's hard to see. What did that person mean? Demon Killer amazingly screams. Doubt or ask when to go out for. We can't see his shadow. This is basically not known. I also guess not. But if you know that someone wants to plot, be careful not too much. He slowly shook his head most surely, and laughed. That person does that. Of course there must be a purpose. But definitely, he can't believe his actions. Help the old man do something. Hey haha okay, don't think so much anymore. The most important thing in front of you is to set the rules. Wait for the neck to go into the gabion. We see this 6-level strategy. It's just a little bit lacking. Wait for me to fix it. You will be able to shield. Its power is multiplied. The celestial ceremony also nods the auxiliary, but very quickly frowned. A little insecure. Track the butler. You said that kid's going to the next fight. If he sees this fight, discover the trap. And watch the outside for us. You have to do something. We're not his competition. Don't worry. If it's someone else, it's probably not going to get in so easily. But he will definitely come in. It's because his title is unbeatable. I've never tasted 7 failures in my life. If you have not experienced 7 defeats, you will be proud. But pride will be blind. I firmly believe that in this world, there will be no master of magic easier to fool. Neck 3 most certainly the most divine lips extremely confident to say. Hear this word. The sacred ceremony is finally assured. I can't stand to praise the butler. It's like seeing through people's hearts. The mediocre can't compare. The old man was extremely submissive. Okay, you're less flattering. Probably cold for an hour. Then he sighed again. I predict he will go to war. But his power is deep and unpredictable. You can catch him easily or not. Here's another problem. I just want the 6-level layout. Based on this great battle of nature. Plus 2 people, and he controls. We can win if we don't. He hasn't said the whole thing yet. The 4 demons next to him were dancing excitedly. Happy to ask, what do we do? You're in a match with the 2 of us. Interference of 3-tier communication. The 4 demons book is extremely controversial. I am not willing to look the most certain. Don't. We also want to try the feeling of control. Before in Moscow. All of you. Don't let the 4 of us go to war. It's obviously because of our stigma. Most likely, my face is gray. In my heart. These people are stupid. People in mechs. Don't let them get involved in trauma. For fear of them messing up. With an unusual personality and mind, participation in certain battles will be cancelled. When he thought of this, he suddenly said coldly, I also hate you. Don't mess around when we play. There was more after she was 3. You must obey orders. Give me some strength. If not. He said he moved his finger. When the 4 demons saw this, they were immediately afraid. Constantly nodding. His mouth kept muttering, yes, butler track. 2. We suddenly have a bad stomach. Stop talking and run away. It's like the worst kind of torture. Look at the backs of 4 people. The celestial prayer shook its head and laughed. Probably the same. crying and laughing at them. I don't know if bringing them back is right or wrong. 3 days after a wine-tearing sound, 3 pine-neck bodies suddenly appeared outside. Sun lightning accumulator. It's just paint. This is very different from the last 3 days. The surrounding cloud is no longer there. The thunder doesn't fall anymore. Ancient 3 most common second space. This place is a mountain. Take a deep breath. Towards the mountain screaming 6 sons of bitches. Let your family trust you so much. I can't believe you ran away. Do you know? Is there a lot of time the family is allowed to go out? You are not. Quickly find more medicine for the family to eat. The family will regret it for the rest of their lives. I don't know if I'll go out for medicine next time. When will it be? Look, I know you're in the mountains. Get out of here for the family. If not, the Lord himself will come and take you out. Then you will surely die. But no one answered him. The mountain maintained a silent appearance. Try 3 angry faces. The louder the roar can be. This is your choice. I got you. How will the family deal with you? Just finished. He immediately flew into the interior of the mountain. But he just got to the center. Nose suddenly dynamic. I want to know the location of the 6 most likely people. I feel the same scream again and again. He raised his eyebrows, doubting the French. Probably hiding on one side. I saw his body floating in the air. Surrounded by France. Grinning, hee. Undefeated good fellow. You're finally in the skull. She looked out at this place. There was a battle. I can feel it. Light kept hitting down the cliff. The lightning around the band is also constantly shaking. The body swayed a few. To frowned eyebrows tightly cover the ears. Open your mouth in disgust. Fucking son of a bitch. What is not displayed? You just have to show it. The two worst on one side. Put his expression in his eyes. Laughing to say ha ha ha. Then you can beat your little monster. The festival is also endlessly happy. Nodding and laughing. That boy is really afraid of thunder. The old. Let's give him a taste of the appetizer later. But be careful. Maybe the thunder will do a lot of damage to him. I don't want to kill him. I want him alive. Right now, the most likely way to pass on the sound is to. God knows what it means to laugh. I understood what the butler meant. Even if you waste that much medicine, you can't let them succeed. Just finished, the two of you laughed together. But very quickly also made a dent in. Now there's a loud noise. Dragged down from the sky. Directly attack the neck 3 pine. The explosion doesn't stop. At the center of the 3. Still a squid standing motionless. 2 hands cover ear. The lightning just hit. His small body. Immediately knocked to the ground. It's creating an earthquake of dust flying around. To see this scene. Most likely, the world suddenly stopped. An interested side looking that way said. The boy didn't resist. Maybe lightning is his death. The celestial feast on one side time medicine urgently. Then he asked for the butler. Or let the old man see it. But he hasn't left yet. The dust in front of me is slowly melting away, to reveal three pine necks sitting on the crumbling rock. He didn't have any injuries. I'm most likely to see the scene. Immediately rolled his eyes in terror. But under the level 6 system, there's also his weakness. There is no resistance either. That's not hurt. How is this possible? Think of this as the worst. Immediately transmits the sound for the 4 demons over there. You are the ones who are harassing you from the outside. Look closely at how he stopped the lightning. Clearly just finished. The 4 demons immediately flew into the eye of the battle, towards the neck of the 3 pine. Rush to outside side. Probably most people look at the sky. He ordered the ceremony. This time we have more power. Okay. The final 1 hour of the final 2 days. Neck 3 senses the thunder again. Aggressive hit down again. Looking up at the 4 bodies, hovering in the air. He stood up, the hateful man said again. Of course you guys are playing. Stop this fight. I hate lightning the most. He. Of course, thunder is the crystal of your little monster. We're not stopping. What can you do to us? The devil laughed for an hour. Turned into fiction. Gripped the right to attack the neck 3 pine. But this one right hit down. The neck doesn't move. 2 hands still at ink cover ear. There was a little anger on my face. But that's how the neck of 3 pines stands still. But a power of the evil one struck down. It made his arm hurt. His face is complaining about his face. This boy's body is so hard. He punched him and the old man was about to break. At this time, the light appeared again. The rumbling goes down endlessly. Where the 3 pine necks are standing, was beaten into a heap of ruins. Power like this, even if it's the master of the wind, it's certainly hard to avoid. But most probably I can't guarantee it. This type of attack can deal with the neck. Because he is the strongest man in the universe. Unbeatable copper antique 3 pine. The 2 worst people outside. Look at the violence of Kwang. Don't stop hitting down. Eyes full of expectation. But when the dust cleared, it made them 7. 3 pine neck is still standing there. 1. There is no influence. Probably take a sip of cold air. 2 eyes rolled in horror and couldn't help but look at this. Even though I know he is bad. But his weakness is to pull. But under the assault of lightning. Not a little hurt. Still not out of fear. The most likely is a scream for the 4 demons. Devil death friction. How did he finally stop the thunder? The 4 demons turned into fiction. Hovering around the position of the neck 3 pine. The one who saw it all. Trembling voice report track. This little butler's head completely blocks thunder. That dragon hit me. But he's standing there like he's unharmed. The 4 demons haven't finished yet. Most likely it was a terrifying battle. Maybe lightning isn't the boy's weakness. Why did you guess wrong? Next door is also constantly worried. Quickly said track butler is now doing so here. The boy stood forever in battle. There's nothing we can do about him. We'll soon be born. Wait for him to come out and find us. The book we spend. Life is certain. For a long time, I think the most likely is a bit of a tearful eye. Even if lightning is not his weakness. Before he was screaming with thunder. It's just that I hate lightning. Let's say we calculated wrong. But this battle is a 6th-level battle anyway. Based on natural terrain. Let's use all our strength to attack him. No matter how bad he is. It makes him flow a little bit. Maybe it was a success. Was nodded by the aggressive tears. Decided to bet a game. Then in the hand also closed. Most likely a sigh. This time it's basically a bet. Can you eat the whole thing? The winning percentage of this bet is 55-10. But to get the neck 3 pine, you have to bet. Even if there are 7 failures, he will not regret it. At this time the sound is coming. My butler is ready, how are you? The worst of all sighed again. In the closing hand nod saying we're done, let's go. Just finished. It is finished in the hands of 2 people. The lightning immediately exploded. The thunder echoed through the sky again. Hundreds of thousands of lightning quang aggressive hit down. The strong mountain lightning must also shake slightly. The power of this level 6 battle is strong. There can be no doubt. Friction for demons inside see the scene. Immediately cried out in fear and ran away. This time, they don't dare to surround their necks. Let a Quankir lightning strike down. 3 people have not been injured. They will surely die first. 3 pine neck still standing motionless ceiling ear. Watching the thunder fall from the air. The anger is getting deeper. But most likely the outside world is also very focused. In mouth murmuring neck 3 pine. If this is a blow you can still stop. So maybe this is the fate of the human race. That's an hour. The thunder turned into lightning and rushed together. Like 1,000 horses attacking the neck 3 pine. In the blink of an eye, the whole mountain shook endlessly. Just drag the light. Like the destruction of Kir struck down. There can be no doubt, within 100 miles around this place there will be no more grass. Bodies everywhere. Only them. The driver may be lucky to survive. Unfortunately, this is a long cry. Screaming down from the sky. 3 pine neck in the battle eye has awakened. 2 hands have been released, no longer cover the hands. He took a deep breath. A strong grip on power. Directly faced to drag long. Emits devilish vibrations. Then the electricity in the blink of an eye collapsed. Dragging long step by step scattered, turned into little lights. And then disappear, you can't see. It's probably the same outside. Betrayed by the French. To do not spray a sip of fresh blood. It's amazing to me. A deep breath in the sky. Can't help but exclaim. Unbeatable copper is always so strong that it's hard to believe. I don't blame the old year, he can fight the whole country alone. Win the title of invincible. Most likely a sigh. The surgeon shook his head. The bet doesn't suit me. His tears dragged that dark cloud. Surround him for a moment. Let's go back. Invincible, this wisdom is not one that can be conquered. In other words, if you have a chance, wait until later. I was shocked to hear this word. This is the first time he's seen it. The worst thing I can say is give up like this. He has always been confident. I never gave up on myself. But today the person he met was a monster. To shake the universe. 300 years ago, it's not hard to lose. Now he is finally conscious. Absolute power. It is thousands of times stronger than any book. The two of you laughed. At the same time, sealed to repair the hole in the air. Then change the sound show ghost book for demons quickly converge. Retreat. Three thongs see the tug then wants to converge. Eyes of great indignation. 6 You are too despicable. I didn't say that. The family I hate the most is lightning. To hands he gripped into aggressive power. Punch hard on the ground. The whole mountain is constantly moving. An invisible energy that's rapidly diffusing. It creates a huge shock. Right, a woodcut Kier forces glide by. It instantly turns to dust. The two most likely bot is swayed one. In a never-ending terror. 2 round prayer. Difficulty swallowing a gulp of saliva. To exclaim a sentence. Not expected. The boy's fist was so powerful. This power against heaven is really against the horse. The most powerful magic in the eyes shrinks screaming fast. We can't surround him. 277 skillful words. Not even waiting for them to get out. Then the energy goes away for a moment. Along the horizon. Diffuse everywhere. Within 100 miles around the lightning mountain blinking collapse. Dust flying everywhere. Only the ruins remain. To the clouds all year round. The mountain also disappeared without a shadow. Trying to get out of the rocks. Probably the world is not out of fear. What kind of monster is that? That's it. He can turn 600 miles into a flat field. The devil is also buried in the earth. Aggressive escape. Shaking your head and thinking, that's scary. If it wasn't for the butler to remind us. Down to the ground at the important moment. Well, maybe we're all smashed up by now. You are invincible. That's a real pervert. Not to confront him later. Even if the butler tortures to death. I don't want to live in a cave. Afraid like this. But they also. I don't know about 3. Right now there's a sound behind them. Around the body scatter raw intensely close. Slowly moving towards them. Neck 3 Pine coldly spoke up. Finally, I found 4 of you bastards. Who punched the young master a moment ago? Come out here. He said that the devil did not even raise his head. He pointed to the killer devil and said that he. Devil's rampage, difficulty swallowing a gulp of saliva. Trembling with fear, his limp legs hurriedly moved, his hands talking. Not me. It's not that I'm being forced to do that. Oh, who's that? She frowned 3 times. 2 hands clenched into the right emit a gritting sound. The killer demon breathed in an awkward flutter of evil. He hasn't confessed yet. Suddenly behind, I heard the cry of the most powerful of the 3. People turned their heads and looked back. The 2 most likely to share the same heavenly tears. I don't know where it came from. It's covered in dust. That one of the most visible of the 3. Rushed to embrace him. In my mouth I can't stop talking happily. You're finally here. Thank God, thank God, if not, we'll never see you again. Finally, he turned to the four devils and glanced furiously. The four demons saw this look in his eyes as if understanding. Keep your mouth shut on one side. But right now she's filled with anger. The face is no longer as dull as before. Most likely, seeing him is not right. Pretend to ask why. Neck 3 glances at Y. Cold voice at Sao again fled. Why did you set up a war to harm us? Feast hard, swallowing a gulp of saliva. Full body rigid. The four demons trembled even more. Keep your head down and don't dare say a word. Only the most certain one is calm. Pretend not to understand what you're talking about. AI arrangement drag engine. Maybe this battle is not your own doing. Of course, what would we do if we showed up? There's something about us being trapped inside the fight. Most likely, a pout said. This word just came out. Neck 3 pine amazement. Even the four demons rise to doubt. It looks the most solid. For a while. I can't believe what you mean. You are also imprisoned in this battle. Most likely, he sighed and shook his head. That's of course. If not, we brought you medicine a long time ago. What? Neck 3 pine startled again. The anger in him has also dissipated. I am now suspicious or asking. You're locked up in here for taking my medicine. Probably the coldest nod. Open mouth boasting. Neck 3 pine. Do you know why this place has a 6-level battle? 3 pine neck does not understand, shaking head. Gradually fall into the trap that most probably arranged. Right now, the most confident part is speaking again. Because this place has an 8 drug route. Extremely precious. That's why there are people out there to protect it. To get this medicine for you. We went deep into the tiger's den. But I'm stuck here. It's hard to escape. Fortunately, you came in time. But why did you say we ran away? Not before leaving. I told you we were looking for medicine. Yeah, that's what happened. I made a mistake. Neck 3 pine unconsciously a little, embarrassed like a child doing the wrong thing. I feel guilty about good people, so I feel bad. Look at the expression he wanted to believe. The worst of all, he grinned. Although the ancient name of this 3 pine is actually the opposite, as naive as a child. Compared to ordinary people, it is more tempting to deceive. The four demons saw this scene. Also breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, I escaped alive. But when everyone is breathing at the same time, 3-year-old girl suddenly frowns. Doesn't feel right. Aggressive just about, the devil says. It's not right if you're stuck here. At Sao those 4 guys can run to. Running back inside the battlefield. Give me another punch. His word just ended. People can't help but tremble in their hearts. Most people probably don't even think this is going to happen. Not having time to react, I couldn't say a word about this. Listen to hear. The silent prayer is a bit unsettled. The butler had calculated it well. If you can't imprison this little demon, pretend to be stuck here. To find medicine for him. from the false conqueror who was harmed in order to deceive the. Feel.